Okay, there we are. Sorry about that, guys. All right, let's start standing up.
And the big ones?
On the big ones. We're just going to wake up the feet since it's early in the morning. I don't know about anybody else, but I've been doing a lot of gyro and my body is feeling so stiff. Turn over in bed, I'm like, oh, my spine, my torso, everything, every muscle hurts. Okay, so just walking slowly over. And slowly back. Then just standing with the balls of the feet on top of the makarlu. And just shifting your hips forwards and backwards. So what we're trying to do is keep the back of the leg nice and long and just glide the sacrum through and back. All right, then we're going to just stand with the heels on top. We're going to take a minute to really spread the toes out. Just see if you can, sorry, I'm just going to find the other squishy mat. Just see if you can really feel that your weight is even between the big toe joint and the baby toe joint. Okay, so you want to feel like you have these lines that travel down the leg, and every single toe knuckle has a way of articulating with the floor, and we want every single knuckle to be grounded and the toes to feel like they're traveling forwards. And we're going to bend our knees a little bit, and then as we straighten the legs, we're going to really see if we're imagining that we're squashing the domes underneath our heels and trying to push our heel bones down into the domes and then bending. And again, pushing the heel bones down and bend. And one more time. Down and bend. Let's drop a size. So now we're going to drop down to the medium ones.
The what? The middle one?
Middle size. Move this one over here. Yeah. Okay, let's put them underneath the front of the feet. And we can just lengthen the toes and stretch them. So I'll just bring this closer for this series. Excuse my ratty nail polish, you know. Hopefully we're all in the same boat. Okay, here we go. Toes are long and they're going to stretch.
Oh, it's so cute. Oh. That is cool, isn't it? So random, I love it.
I know, so random, so random.
Frank, there's a bunny on the screen. You should go and...
I can never decide if he's loving me and coming to give me cuddles or like really territorial and trying to tell me to get away. And up, one more time. And up. Okay, stand with your heels on them now. Again, little bend of the knees, making sure that we've got these points of the toes really grounded. So we're trying to activate the different lines of the leg. And you're going to straighten your knees, pushing down through the line of the bone, and then bend. And again, straighten and push the line of the bone down, and bend. Just do 3 more of those for me. Go back to your side. Just want watch a movie. Okay, taking down to the smaller size next. All right. I'm going to put mine right underneath, just behind my second toe. And we're going to try and curl the arch of the foot here. So from the baby toe to the big toe. I'm going to try and curl that. Push down into the tips of your toes. Lift the arch of your foot off and then release. And again, push down, lift the arch and release. Push down, lift the arch, release. One more time. Push and release. Okay. Going on to the heels. And we're going to do a little bend and a little push, grounding through the line of the bone. So again, it's like you could imagine that these little stones were actually really soft and you could squish them with your heels, really dropping through the bone line and bend. And again, dropping through the bones. 2 more. Making sure that you're not just straightening your knees, but trying to lengthen the back line of the body to straighten. Okay. Doing the same thing with the heels. Oh, I don't know why I turned that. Doing that a bit early. With the heels on the wood.
And the wood, yeah.
If you don't have wood, what can you use? Just like maybe, I don't know, maybe fold your mat a few times. Just trying to think, Nikki, you don't have a wooden disc, do you?
It doesn't matter. Just the bone moving is enough for me to get the back line going. So I'm fine with that, Caro. I've got a broomstick here, so that's fine.
All right, perfect.
Yeah.
Just gonna push the heels down and bend. And again, push the heels down and bend. 2 more. Ground through the back, draw the tummy up and bend. And last one. Ground and push and bend. Okay. Our standing series today. Grab it. Move. All right. I think this is the only one that you won't be able to simulate, Nikki, but that's fine. You can just. All right. We're standing with the arches supported by the little wooden discs. So that if you're normally somebody who collapses your arch, this is going to stop you from doing that, all right? We're going to stand up nice and tall, and we're going to shift your weight onto one leg. And what I want you to feel is that instead of your weight going down through the inside of the foot, your weight's going to go down through the baby toe, the outside of the foot, and all the way up to the pelvis as you lift one leg off. Really pushing your footprint, the outside of your footprint into the floor, and then change. And push the outside of your footprint into the floor, and change. And what I want you to try and feel is not that you're just slinking and leaning on the fascial line there, but you're actually activating it in 2 directions. So you're pushing down with the outside, drawing up with the top of the leg. And change. And push. And change. How does that feel? Does everybody feel their baby toes connecting to the ground?
Weird. I can feel how much I'd collapse onto the inside line.
Yes, so that's quite a good tool this. Now we're going to lift one knee, and you can bend your supporting leg if you want, but you're just going to reach one leg behind you. If you need a pole to help you balance, that's fine. And then you're going to come up and lift. And sorry, I can see my son climbing in the kitchen. You're going to keep going. You're going to do 4 more, please. What are you doing, boy? Hey? What are you doing? Just leave your chair right in, okay? legs. Outside line pushing into the floor, making sure you're not collapsing on your arch, really grounding through the baby toe. Lift the opposite knee up. And we're going to reach behind. Oh, this one feels quite different. Try and match the opposite sides. So we want both sides of the legs to be even. If you feel like one leg's much better than the other, we're going to do another 2 sets. Try and find the same connection. You should feel it all the way up to the back of the pelvis here. And again. Reach. And up. Change legs.
Wow.
Rounding through the baby toe. If you can, make sure that your big toe is also connected. Don't do that, please. Lift your knee and reach. And forward, leg back up. Scarlett, stop it. Reach. Up. And reach. And up. One more time. Reach. Good. Change sides. Baby toe connected, big toe also down on the floor. Let your knee travel forward, but make sure that it's not going towards your baby toe. It has to go over your middle toe. And up. Scarlett, stop. Reach. And up. And reach. Try not to collapse through the inside line. Keep pushing the baby toe into the floor. One more time. Lift. And out. Okay. Now, you can either do it on the makarlu, on the discs, or you can do it on a smaller sort of half dome.
It's like a small one. The very small one.
And we're going to go up onto the ball of the foot.
So the feet
Or back down.
in the middle.
Oh, shush. Now, if you can feel the big toe and the baby toe connecting, that's what I'm looking for. So that we have a quadrant of the foot, big toe and baby toe anchored as you rise up. And lower back down.
We're using the wooden one.
We're using the wooden ones. Come on. Let's go. Come on, let's go. Scarlett. Say bye-bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.
Look, they want to say goodbye to you. They don't want you to hold on. Let's go. Go. Come on. Scarlett. I'm confiscating your iPad for the rest of the day if you don't listen to me and come inside now. Let's go. Okay, that's enough. Just give me 1 second. I'll just deal with these little schmucks.
It's good for balance this.
Yeah, it is, isn't it?
Sorry, I thought I was going to be clear today, but my husband's taking his car for a service. Anyway, here we are. Okay. So now we've done the rising up and lowering down. How did that feel? Did you feel like you could keep your balance between the inside and the outside toe?
Yeah, good for balance that, yes.
Yeah, okay. With one more standing one, which is going to be the little tiny ones in front of the heel, okay, just to mobilize the back of the foot.
Caro, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
I was just going to say, when I do my left foot on the, were we supposed to do those on the curve?
On the curve, yeah. The curve is facing into the arch.
Yes. So when I do that, my big toe joint feels a little bit dislocated on the left-hand side. Do you know what I mean?
So what does that feel like? It feels what? That the toe is not connected at this joint of the knuckle.
Yeah, the big toe knuckle feels a bit funky on the
As-
left side
As you rise up onto your toes.
as I rise up.
I'm just going to make your picture bigger. Hold on.
Not my right, just my left. Particularly when I go down.
Ah.
Yeah. Like in here.
Okay, we'll do a little exercise to see if we can wake something there up, which everybody will benefit from anyway. Okay, let's just finish doing this little mobilization, putting this little hard one right in front of the heel bone.
Yep, okay.
And standing on that.
Oh, up.
Okay, I know, that's the sore spot. And we're just going to do the figure eight. So we travel with your pelvis towards the wall, rock that hip back, change. Try and keep your legs straight, but just weave your pelvis from side to side. So it's not doing a circle. Traveling forwards and around one foot, forwards and around the other foot. And we change direction. So we go backwards and around one foot, backwards and around the other. Okay, we're going to go again. Forwards. And backwards. This rabbit. And stop. All right. Oh, just have a little walk. See how your feet feel.
Okay, good.
Sit down. Now, if you have a hairband, you can get a hairband. If not, you're just going to hold your toes together with your fingers. Oh, that didn't work with the light. What's happened there?
What do we do?
The sun's shining straight at my screen now. That's definitely not going to work. Hold on. I'll just bring this onto the floor here. Okay. So I have my toes together and I'm going to hold them together, or I'm going to get a hairband. But I also have my inside ankles touching, okay? So it's not that my toes are touching and my heels are apart. No, the whole inside line of the leg is stuck. And then I lift my toes up and I lower them down. Lift and lower. Lift and lower. I'm going to have a look and see how everyone's going. How does that feel?
Good.
Easy?
Yes.
Hard.
Hard. Okay. Because that, you can feel how there's an inside line that runs through the toe to help keep the big toe anchored. And sometimes, especially if we wear heels, I don't know if you're a high heel wearer, Astrid, but Sometimes if we wear heels, the toes start to deviate when we're walking around on the balls of our feet. So we have to just work at pulling that back in, okay? All right, then we're just going to add a little bit of gyro toe wiggle happening just to mobilize. So you're going to scissor your toes backwards and forwards, all right? You can go quite slowly to start with, just stretching the web of the foot. Make sure you're keeping your toes in alignment while you're doing it, so don't tweak them in funny directions. Then we're going for the next one. One foot forward, one toe forwards, one back. Really mobilizing. And then the next one.
Cara, will we have time to do a few for the hands as well with the collar?
Yeah.
That would be good.
Yeah, we can definitely do some. Are your hands feeling bad? You've been cooking?
No, they're not, but it's just nice to learn a few more other things. I use them every day mostly.
All right, here we go. Next foot, change. Scissor. And next web down, next toe down. Now I've got a scar on my foot here, so this one's really tight. But if you find that you've got one that's really tight, I have to travel a little bit higher up to try and stretch the fascia there. Work with what you've got, stretch them up. Okay, back to the first foot. You're going to actually just, what are we going to do? For you, Astrid, you're not going to try and pull your toe off. You're going to gently hold it. And you're just going to traction it. So you're going to lengthen. You know, when we pull on the toe, we actually are creating space through the bones and the energy line all the way up through the leg. So you don't want to be too vicious, but you just sort of lengthen and then release. Lengthen and release. And you think, instead of just clicking the toe, you think, can I feel this traveling in a fascial line all the way up the leg? And then we go for the next. Reach. And reach. And then the next one, middle toe now. And fourth toe. And baby toe.
Okay. You're stretching the Achilles at the same time.
Okay.
You're stretching the Achilles at the same time.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah, we don't want to be pulling this way. We're just sort of lengthening. Now, we're going to, sorry, my feet are grubby from walking outside. We're going to pull the heel bone down. Okay, so we're going to loosen all the tissue behind the ankle bone and reach right down to the heel. And then release. And again, working all the way down the back of the leg. And release. And all the way down. And release. Put your finger here just where the soft part of the foot is and make a fist. But again, this is not, we're not pointing the foot. We're keeping the heel long. And we're trying to imagine that we're fitting into shoes that are too small for us. And then we're opening out the toes. And again, and we're trying to find that we can round this arch here. And open. Oh, that gives me a nice cramp. Keep your heel down and crunch your foot. And open. One more time. Crunch. And open. Okay. Other side. Lengthening the fascial lines. Pulling on the toes. Pulling them forwards this way. Not down in a point. Lengthening. Seeing if you can feel the connection, the sagging that happens and the releasing all the way up. Reach. And the next, fourth toe, gently tractioning, releasing all the way up the shin. And then the baby toe. And then putting your finger here in the soft part, making that fist, crunching, 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 trying to see that your big toe and your baby toe are even. So I don't want your baby toe to be winning the race and your foot's twisted that way or the other way. It's really balanced, as if you're standing on 4 points. And open and crunch. And open, crunch. And the last one, crunch and open. Okay, we've got one final one to do now. You want to make sure if you're on a hard floor that you have a mat underneath you. If you're on carpets, you should be okay. I will just say that I do have very bendy feet, so don't freak out if you can't do what I can do. But we're going to tuck your toes underneath, okay? So some of you may need to reach your leg right behind you to be able to get that. Otherwise, you can stand up. And we're going to roll from the big toe all the way to the baby toe. And what you should feel when you do this is that you're getting a stretch all the way up the front of the shin towards the knee, okay? And we're curling and stretching all the muscles at the front of the leg. Lengthening, rolling from the big toe across to the baby toe.
Oh, that's yummy.
Yeah, especially for people that run around in high heels. You can feel that that is like a really tight fashion sheet, so you don't want to stretch it too hard, okay? You've got to like ease into this one bit at a time. It's a work in progress thing. Okay, other side. Stretching all the way across to the baby toe and then coming all the way back. Hi, Frank.
That's Charlotte.
And across. And back. All right. We've got one last thing to do with legs, then we're going to go on to some hands. Get your stool and stand up. We are going to we're going to reach the heel down and then put the toes down. Reach the heel down and then put the toes. So this might seem, for some of you, it might be a nothing exercise, and you might be like, what is this, the point of this? But for some of you, lengthening your heel and keeping the legs straight before putting the ball down will be a real challenge if you've got tight calves. If that feels really easy for you, you can grab some little balls and you can reach your heel down and stretch into the ball a little bit. But it's really about the sequencing. It's got to be the heel that lands before the ball. Heel that lands before the ball. Lengthening the back of the leg and the Achilles tendon. Okay, very nice. Now we're going to come down onto our mat. If you are comfortable sitting with your legs crossed, you can sit with your legs crossed. If you need a bolster to sit on, you can get that. I'm going to start by doing a little bit of fascial release through the arms. So you want to have your stool next to you. We're going to put the big spiky one on top of the stool. And we're going to start right up near the tricep. Okay. And we're just going to floss. So you can kneel or you can sit with your legs to one side, whatever works for you, so that you can get quite high up to the armpit. Really to the
What
tricep.
size?
Sorry?
What size?
The biggest one.
The middle.
The big one with the teeth. No. It's called the flower, the lotus flower. Then the middle one's called the root, and then the bottom one's called the pebble. So maybe we use those words, then we know every time what we're talking about. Okay, up near the armpit, and then we're flossing. Lengthen all the way. Turn your fingers to the floor. Curl. Touch the fingertips to the shoulder. Lengthen out.
Oh, that's yummy.
All the way. Reach your Spider-Man webs across the room. Curl in. And reach. Now, I'm leaning on my arm. Hey, you want to have quite a lot of pressure down. Don't be too soft. So that's why I've snuggled my chair so that I can lean. Yeah. Because ultimately it's the pressure that's going to be doing the work here. And then we just have to floss to open up and get that gliding back happening. One more time. Open and close. Let's go down towards the elbow now. Is that tight?
Yeah.
How does everybody else find it?
Good.
Girl, touch your fingertips. Open the palm of the hand. Stretch the whole front of the arm here. Girl, touch the fingers. Open. Curl. And open. Let's do a little circle now. We're going to curl in, sweep across, open up. Oh, a bit better. Get something going. Rolling around. This is for people who have a lot of tennis elbow. This is a great one. Right where all of that tissue connects. Change direction of the circle. Slowly and around. And up. Okay, let's just take our arms off and just do a test. See how they feel. Okay. Go in the pale part here, underneath. And let's rest our other arm on top of it. Okay? So if you wiggle around, you can find a tight spot. Everybody is a little bit different. I think mine's relaxed a little bit since I haven't been doing so much hands-on, but just find a spot where you find something slightly tender. And then floss. Trying to, the same as we do when we do the legs, lengthen. I don't want your elbow to pop up as you reach your hand forwards. I want the bones and the tissue to slide past each other. So you're trying to visualize that the fascia is doing its job of assisting the sliding. If you can circle your arm, your hand, sorry. Slow circles, remembering that keeping the compression on the area for a minute and a half is what helps, because then when you take it off, all the fluid floods back in and kind of creates a lot of juiciness through that. Carol, how does this feel? This should feel quite good for you.
Good, yes, it feels good, yes.
Change direction with the circle. Make sure that you're pushing down with your hand, all right?
Just above the wrist.
Yeah, you're just circling the wrist and the fingers, but you should feel all of the muscles that come up to the elbow really having a good work.
Wow. Yeah.
All right, we're just going to get the pebble. You can keep this one. And we're going to go, so if you just palpate down your arm, you can feel that there are two bones, right? We all know that we've got two arm bones here. You want to find a point where you can dig in between the two bones, and you're going to put the pebble into that spot. So I've got the pale part of my arm finger, and I'm just going to push and wiggle. Actually, let's grab the other one. Let's do the same as we do with our shin. Let's grab the little pebble on the top as well. And we're going to push here, and we're going to push from under. So between your two arm bones, there is a thing called the interosseous membrane, which holds the two bones together. It's like a really big sheet of fascia. And of course, all the muscles attach onto that. So what we're trying to do is we're trying to just loosen everything that feeds into that membrane, really gliding, pushing down so that you're giving yourself a nice release. Slowly floss your hand. So even though we're working the arm, obviously the lines of the fingers, you can feel how they track all the way up. So any release you do in the arm is going to affect the hands. Okay, working down a little bit. I'm going to change my position to kneeling so I can get a little bit higher. But yeah, you're fine to do this on the floor, whatever feels comfortable. Push down with the arm and then flossing. Oh, this point feels a bit tender for me. Okay, moving down one more spot. And so I've probably got one more position until I'm really down near the bottom of the wrist. So just work wherever you feel you need it. If you find a sore spot, you can do that. And let's come right down to the wrist now. We'll just say don't go really too close to where your wrist is because there's a lot of nerves that travel just there. Just be a little bit up. Sorry, somebody's just rung my doorbell. Let me just go and see who that is. I'll be back in 1 second. Thank God, found a movie that they love, so they're sitting quietly. All right, let's stop and let's just wobble that hand around. Feel the difference between the two.
Massive difference.
Should feel better. Okay.
Yeah.
Switch your chair or change positions, whatever you have to do. We're going to do the same release down this arm. Okay, so starting right up, where the matches. Oh, a tender for me. And Spider-Man hands. And then curling. Spider-Man webs and curl. So again, you can see that I'm leaning quite a lot of weight onto my arm. So Carol, I would say your feet need to be facing the other way so that you're really tilting your whole torso onto the ball. So turn your hands and in. Let's do a little
Are you sideways or front?
Okay.
Are you doing it sideways or to the front? Sideways.
It's like 45 degrees.
Right.
Can be forwards. I don't think it really matters. Can be to the side. I don't think it really matters. As long as you're leaning on it, you've got a good grip of the tissue. And, circles. Sorry, we're doing a little circle in and reach out. Circle and up. Circle. Change direction. On me this. And okay, moving down towards the elbow. How do you find this, Astrid? Good?
Oh, this is good.
Yeah?
The right is very much tighter than the left, which is not surprising.
It's always your way. Open, show the palm across the room, circle in, touch your shoulder. Rolling around the bone. Again, remembering we're trying to mobilize the fascial system to be all slidey and elastic. So the more we can think about that and facilitate it in our brains, tell your body to let go, allow all the tissues to move around the bone. Visualize the bones slipping inside the muscular system. Change direction. I did, but I don't think I cued it, so maybe. Okay. Coming to the right part of the arm, putting some weight on top. Oh no, we're going to just go for the small ones. I think they're better. Oh no, hold on. We did do one set like this. Leaning your weight. Down and up, circling across. Change. Okay, let's grab the littlest ones. We're going to go on the top of the arm now, okay? Again, trying to find the pressure into the interosseous membrane. So just wiggle around, find the spot where you feel like, oh yeah, I'm in the gap between the bones. It is a little bit harder to find on the arm because our arms are quite strong and muscly. And then you're just going to push down and you're going to wiggle. And if you can just gently floss. But if wiggling is all you can handle, then that's fine. So one hand on top, one hand underneath. Trying to think about gliding the tissue over the interosseous membrane. All right, moving down 1 point.
This is awesome.
Yeah, it's quite good, isn't it? Gets things moving. Okay, moving down again. So this is the last point before I get to my wrist. Again, if you find any spots that feel really sore, just be careful that you're not pushing on nerves, all right? We don't like to push on nerves. They don't like it. They'll scream at you. Just keep going. Move down to the next point after a few more wiggles. More than going every rest, we start it up. Games. Last. Okay? Right.
That's hard.
Wiggle our hands around, feel how that feels. Okay. I'd like to know whether you feel, Carol, that your fingers and things feel looser after releasing your arms.
Yeah.
Okay. So we're going to, let's stack all the balls back inside the makarlu. See? And you, Nikki, can just use the half dome like this, okay?
Yep.
So
Makarlu, you're going to reach around with your fingers and hold, okay? So that we're stretching the hands. So you can see when you have to separate your fingers like this, it also separates the space between the bones. And let's try and keep the lines of the hand or the lines of the bones lined up, but still also get a bit of a stretch. And we're going to then push the heel of the hand down while we're still holding with the fingers, all right? So we're not letting go. This is not like a collapse into the heel of the hand. I'm really squeezing with my fingers, and then I'm lengthening. And then I'm going to roll this way. And I'm going to come back. And roll forward. So I've got them in front of me. Yep, you're all sitting, that's fine. Are you all comfortable there?
Yep.
and back. So as we go forward, we should just feel a little bit of its length. As we come back, we should feel like we're stretching the underneath of the arm. Okay? Now we're going to bring the hands a little bit closer in towards us. We're going to do the same thing. Lengthen and pull back. Should be increasing the stretch through the underneath of the arm. And make sure that you're not bending your elbows. And back. Now we're going to do some circles here. Roll in with the thumb. Roll out to the baby toe. Drop the heel of the hand. And again. Roll and open. And drop. Roll. Open and drop. Roll. Open and change direction. Keep the elbows straight. Get the work happening all the way up the line of the arm. Keep holding on like a death grip with your fingers. As we're working and stretching, then we're really making long-lasting change. Okay, release. Shake your hands off. You're going to tuck your hands, your fingers.
Quiet, please.
See the rabbit. Okay, curl the fingers, soft. This is like raindrop fingers, very soft. Roll through, soft. Okay, don't push. And then up. Think of what we were doing with the feet. There's big fascial lines here. We don't want to work too hard. We're just easing into it. Then we ease out. Okay, and again, soft release. And up. And soft release. And up. Hold this way. And we're going to go here. Reach. And roll. Let's start beside us actually, so it starts off a little bit easy. Again, I'm gripping the makarlu, so I've got the palm of my hand active. And I'm reaching. And reaching. And releasing. My inside of my hand, my pale part of my arm is reaching forwards. And release. And reach. Every time I come up, I move forward a centimeter. If you reach a point where you're like, oh no, can't go any further, then you stop there. Ease, ease off. And ease and ease off. Ease and ease off. Let's do circles here. Roll, reach, and roll. Reach, and roll. Okay, now we're going to do a similar thing, but this time we're going to hold the weights up. If this feels like it's too heavy for you, then you can take some of them out and you can just use the outside one. But we're going to do lifting and curling. Lifting and curling. While I'm doing this, I have a gap here, all right? I'm trying to like make my arch of my hand lift. So I'm not collapsing there. Good. Circles. Now, in your brain, think of every finger. I want you to hit that point of the clock each time. So we're not rushing through any particular points. Curl. Use the wrist. Open. Is that too much, Carol?
No, I've got to sit I've got to sit.
And open. Change up. Try and keep your elbows straight. And back. And back. 2 more. Keep your collarbones wide. Try and not stress your neck. Keep your arm bones feeding back into their sockets. Okay, turn the other way. Show them to me. Show them to your belly. Show them to me. Show them to your belly. And through. Okay, now, final thing we're going to do here is we're going to roll through the fingers this way. Well, again, you can't really use me as a measure because I do have very bendy joints. But you want to imagine that you could roll, okay? So it's you don't want it to be okay, and then you're trying to feel and hit every single knuckle one at a time. I know this will be a big stretch for some of you, and that's fine. That's what we're doing. Peel up one at a time. Stretch through the fingers. Keep the fingertips down. Roll, hit through each knuckle. Then place the heels down. Try and lift your fingertips. Open up. Good. We've got 4 more there because I know that's tight for a lot of you. You can't get in there. Okay, beautiful bubbles, and I can run you a bar with some bubbles next. You can't get in there, it's too small. Go back to dinosaurs. No. Darling, you can't. It's too small. James. No, because you look here, the count is got a bend in it and it's going to break. You can't climb in here, darling. Daisy, you can't, okay? Go. Here's your towel. Just watch. Here you go. Dry yourself with this. Oh my goodness, my kids are crazy. Okay. There we go now. Rolling this way.
Carol, I have to go.
You have to go. Sorry.
No, brilliant. Thank you so much. Loved it.
Can you not join us for gyro because it's in the middle of the day?
Depends. Like I'm still working, so I've got. It just depends on what meetings I've got.
I think we'll see you for some.
So today, like at the gyro at the 2 o'clock, I've got a meeting. Yeah. So
It's the Saturday morning for a gyro rather than a makarlu.
what time? What time is that?
That's going to be at 8.
Yeah, that's cool. It's not like I've had a late night or anything. All right, guys. Thanks so much.
Have fun.
Bye.
Through the hands.
I'll get out of this.
Breathing through the hands. Should be able, oh, there you go. And peel, roll down. And peel. After doing all the lovely release work on the arm, you should feel like this is maybe easier than it might have been otherwise.
This is yummy.
How does it feel for you, Carol?
Yeah, it feels good on the arms, releases the arms and the fingers.
Okay, then we're going to turn this way. And we're going to try and peel and roll. Now, you might not be able to keep this angle. You might have to be on top, okay? But you try and just open up the palm of the hand. And then you push through the knuckles and through the fingers and roll. Again, rollers on the hands. And up. And reach. Again. And reach and shake them out. Okay, beautiful.
Right.
For all of that release work, please drink lots of water today, and I think we're going to finish with a few little arches and curls just to get the lymphatic system pumping, to get rid of all the fluids moving that we've been working. So let's sit on a chair. Oh, sorry about it. And we're going to just internally rotate and squash yourself. And sit up. As you sit up, you're going to open your collarbones and you're going to turn your baby fingers away. Then we're going to roll the hands in and we're going to internally rotate and squash. And open. And squash. And open. Make your hands even a little bit bigger now. And over. Okay, bigger again. Down. Pull the energy from the floor up all the way above the head. Soften the baby fingers. Feel like you're raining down. Squash and compress the spine. Lift. Down again. Oh, stop. As I'm here, I'm reaching my fingers down so much that it's really squashing my body and stretching my back. Then I pull up. My arms lengthen, my spine lengthens, my heart lengthens, lifts up. Lift your heart, keep lifting your heart. Lift your heart towards your baby fingers. And pull. Compress. Make sure you're not squeezing your butt. You're using your torso. And up. And down. And up. And down. And up. Feel like you squash yourself so much, you squeeze all the air out. There's not even one cough of air left. And then when you rebound, the air is sucked back into you. And then you squash. And last one. And place your hands on your knees. Just with your eyes closed. Just notice your spine. I want you to notice how you're sitting on both sitting bones. Try and make it really even. I want you to notice whether you're tensing anything in your lower back. And try and just ease it off. And as you relax and sort of sag backwards into the natural support of the spine, you might feel that your tummy connects a little bit better. I want you to check that you're not tensing through your kidneys and your adrenals, so you just let the lower rib cage expand backwards behind you. And that again may affect the way that your lower back is sitting. I want you to notice the space between your heart center and your crown chakra, the very top of the head, and see, is there a way that I could make my body balance on top of itself better? Can I take my head, glide my head slowly backwards? Can I extend the back of my neck? And try and really find the longest spine that you can, with open feet and open hands. And if you can keep noticing and connecting yourself into this long spine position throughout the day, really great. Keep noticing if you're tensing your hands and your feet, and just try and find this lovely, warm, open, glidey feeling that exists around our bones and our muscles now. And keep noticing freedom inside the body.
In the sink?
And that's it for today, guys.
That was awesome, Cara. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Later. Bye.